30 minutes and 2 laps for something to go right or go wrong. Let's go racing for the last time this year. And it's Barcia again. No, I think he's going to get edged out by one of the 11-10 mods Honda riders. Alex Martin going to grab the whole shot of the 30.
Jeff, I seen Baggett was buried deep in the back of the pack.
That's bad news.
Well behind, yeah. At least midway back.
Yeah, Tomac's about, I'm sorry, that looks like Will Hahn in there. So you got Barcia there in the center of your screen second. A couple of Suzuki riders up there, Wharton and Anderson. And where is first and second points?
And here's Barcia going to try to take advantage. He's the only one of the front runners in this series that's up front in this moto. Jason Anderson, Rockstar Suzuki, in third, with the 11-10 mods Honda of Alex Martin leading them around. And Barcia's still mathematically in this too.
Yeah, you can see Barcia. See, Barcia's in a perfect spot right now. Better than the other two guys, not points-wise, but position-wise. He's out front, well, pretty much out front compared to the other, compared to Tomac and Baggett.
Well, Barcia's strength this year has been his starts. Right here, takes the lead from Alex Martin. He's been the best starter all year. He's had the most hole shots. He's led the most laps. Problem is, he hasn't led the most last laps. And he led early in Moto 1 here today. He led a lot of laps here.
Yeah.
So could it be he comes out and wins the final, leads the final lap of the championship, maybe the one that he needs to win the championship. Yeah. A lot of racing left to go in this moto.
He's in a great spot right now. The other guys are way back in the pack, and he's going to get this. Whoa, nice save. He's going to get that track position. Those guys are going to have to do a lot of catching up, and we've seen, for those of you who watched the first moto, we've seen a lot of these guys overheating.
And there is Tomac. We found him, I'd say, about 7th place. And here is Baggett, who'll be just outside of the top 10. Remember, he needs 12th or better to lock up his title. Little mistake there. And Ricky, I've heard you say it a lot. When you put yourself in a position like this, you got riders all around you. Things can happen that are out of your control when you're in this kind of traffic.
Yep.
Take us through the start here, Jeff. And what happened? Wait, a rider is down.
Well, watch right here. That's our points leader, red plate. Blake Baggett, and watch the orange gear around the outside of him just get swallowed up here. Look to the inside. You got Barcia right there in a full wheelie powering it. His teammates, every one of the Geico guys was ahead of this man right here, Blake Baggett. But somebody has gone down.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure if that was Tomac or not. Went down the left side of the screen as you watch Baggett. Yes, it was. It was Tomac.
Oh.
And that probably is going to do it for Tomac's valiant effort to try to dig this championship out down the stretch.
Ricky, that's just before the finish line there. There's a big kicker coming out of that rut. How it kicked off the outside. Yeah,
not sure what happened there.
What an effort, though, he's put in. Look, he's regrouped. He knows at this point it's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
But Eli Tomac has put in such incredible rides this year. He put in the charge all the way.
Just shows you that's how competitive this series has been all year long. To come down to the last moto, you think about how many times, how many laps they've raced. It's pretty amazing.
And he was the fastest at practice today, collected that Oakley Bomb Award, was the fastest rider the last couple of weeks, won the last race. All the momentum seemed to be on Tomac's side, but as you said, Ricky, that competition's so close, he can swing so quickly. Baggett, by the way, we have an 11th right now. So Barcia has opportunity to make up a bunch of points. It still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, I mean, the points, yeah, it's not over by no means, but
right.
I mean, if something was to happen to Baggett and Barcia goes out and scores, I think he probably needs a second or better.
Well, we were just talking
third better.
Look what happened to Tomac.
Right.
That could happen to anyone.
Yep. So Barcia's just going to try to do the best thing he can do and pull away, get this moto win, and maybe it could be good enough for an overall win, which would be nice.
Yeah, he can only control what he's doing right now. He can't control what goes on behind him. So he's doing all he can do. And this guy right here, he's probably going to play it safe if I had to bet. No need to put any necessary risk into his passes or his ride.
12th or better. The thing, though, is you got to stay focused, right? You can't start thinking about the championship. You still have to get to this checkered flag. Like we said, 12th or better for the 9 points he's going to need to clinch the title. Look at this track. It is brutal right now. There's some shadows on the track. It's wet, slippery in some spots, dry, slippery in others. A lot of ruts. Look how rutted these turns are. It's treacherous out there right now, but Blake Baggett, the way that he rode in Moto 1, I mean, he was so focused, and he really is on the top of his game.
Barcia is 23 points behind Baggett, and there you see right there, he'd still be 11 points in back if the moto ends like this. He basically needs Baggett and Tomac to finish out of the points, out of the top 20 in this moto to have a upset shot at the championship. It'd probably be the most dramatic turnaround in the final moto of the year we've ever seen if it were to happen. As you watch Roczen battling it out right now in the number 70 with the 956 of Blake Morton, and here comes Barcia Baggett right behind him, just trying to take it easy and don't get caught up in their battle, because these two are going at it.
Yeah, it gets so difficult. You've got these riders here battling for these positions. Okay, some bonuses on the line, championship points, but Baggett, he's trying to lock down the ultimate prize, right? Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship in the 250 class. This is a very competitive class this season, and it's crazy. There he's got, yeah, wow. He gets around the outside of Wharton.
Nice pass.
You do not want to, I would assume, making contact with these guys, but it's probably the last thing you want if you're Baggett.
I think a lot of guys that aren't in the championship hunt are showing these guys some respect, which is really cool to see. You know, they know that these guys coming down to the wire here, and you're exactly right, Reeves. They don't want to be the guy that perhaps maybe ruin the other guy's chances.
I mean, it's interesting, though, because this is the stepping stone to the 450 class, which is the premier class.
That's right.
The only rider that has been able to win the 450 class, the premier division, without winning this championship was Chad Reed. Back in 2009, he won the 450, but he never won this class in the 250. Every other champion, Dungey, Villapoto, Stewart, Langston, yourself, it's like you have to reach this goal first before you get to the next one.
Well, even yourself, you won both. You won the, which was in 125 class.
Well, and this is a critical time for Blake Baggett here, okay? He's the last season, he was fast. End of the season wasn't good, but if he could lock this thing down, we got 22 minutes plus 2 laps to go. He'll make history.
And here's your battle. It's got the 58 of Will Hahn, the 70 of Roczen, and now Baggett slowly trying to work his way through this group. He's in 7th right now. Roczen is 6th. And they think Musquin is in front of these riders. So it might be a matter of motivation for everyone else right now. If you're Roczen, you don't have too much gain in points. Same thing with Hahn. You're not going to win the overall today either. Roczen had a bad first moto. So Baggett and Barcia are pretty much the only other riders bending on the line, trying to see where Tomac is. He is in 33rd, so he's not giving up. Tomac's going to keep trying, but it's probably going to be all for naught here. But you cannot fault the effort of Tomac today. He did what you wanted to see him do. He went down in defeat. He tried as hard as he could, and he left it all out there on the track.
Yeah, that is no joke. I mean, he gave it. He went till he could not go no more. Right. Goggles coming off. I mean, yeah, you can't discredit, can't discount what he did, that effort he gave actually all year long. Yep. And, you know, even though he didn't get the job done the first moto, you gotta like him throwing it all till he can't go anymore.
Here's Roczen working on Hahn. Now, Roczen thought he'd have an advantage here because every track this year he has been learning it, and while the other riders who've raced in them in years past had some experience. But this track is new to everyone. Unfortunately, Roczen was way back about 25th off the start in Moto 1, so we didn't see what he had there. Look at Baggett sneaking up on them. Gonna try to make the pass on Roczen. Roczen gets held up behind Hahn. Now Baggett all the way to the outside. Be careful, stay on the track. Here comes Baggett. And he's not gonna take any unnecessary risk trying to make those moves, Baggett. It looks like let Roczen have it again. And now they have caught Martin, who is in front of them. There is Martin on the 30, so that's a 4-rider battle.
I like watching Baggett here. I mean, he's going all over the place trying to get by Roczen. Looks like he's going to get him right here.
Nice move.
Being a little frustrated, yeah.
But it's interesting, you know, as he makes his way past Ken Roczen. We talked about Roczen being a rookie in this championship in this class. He's actually a former world motocross champion. Okay, so he's been there before. He's won championships on the professional level, and
Baggett around Hahn.
Yeah, Baggett working his way around Hahn, but you know, Roczen knows that, hey, what Baggett's trying to accomplish, he certainly doesn't want to do anything squirrely, trying to be respectful. You know, and at the same time, still trying to go out there and put in the best ride that you can.
It's weird, like Baggett's got something on his boot, on his left boot. I can't really see it, but I don't know if the strap's undone or what it might be, but it looked like it.
And he tries to zero in on Martin. Barcia leading the way. The Barcia might have a shot at the overall today, depending on how far forward Baggett could go. Baggett would need to get to second to edge out Barcia for the overall. So Barcia might get another victory. That's
could
not
give
really
him 3 on this on the
right.
season. He's got 2 coming in.
He would like more than that. He'd like to win the title. He's going to need some extreme bad luck from Baggett to do it. But still, end of the year and his 250 career on a high note as we watch Baggett go after Martin. This would be for 4th. Musquin and Anderson are in 3rd and 2nd. Baggett is trying to find the line here on Martin. There he goes. Like a surgeon, he has
that was
cut
close.
his way through.
Oh, and then Roczen looks like he's going to get past Martin also. Martin misses the tabletop. Is that going to allow Hahn by? Possibly.
Justin Barcia leading the way here at the Lake Elsinore National. Brought to you by Red Bull. This is the final round of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Barcia letting the back end step out of line a little bit. Barcia working on a moto and perhaps overall win this afternoon. And that will be a great send-off for his 250 career. This most likely the last ever race on the 250cc motorcycle for Barcia.
Yeah, it would be a nice consolation. And he's had some frustrating finishes this year. Frustrating because he's been great off the starts. The whole shots, start average, he's dominated it. He's dominated by leading the most laps by far of anybody out there. The problem is he doesn't have as many wins or overalls as Baggett and Tomac.
Yeah, it's been a season of those incredible late race charges from both Baggett and Tomac, and that is what would power them into championship contention coming in here. But Barcia's consistency might put him in 2nd by the time it's over. Tomac is up to 28th. He might not score any points in this moto. And Barcia has more work to do this year. He's going to be on the Motocross the Nations team on a 450 in a couple of weeks, along with Baggett on the 250.
I think he's going to do really good on that 450 in Belgium. And I know one thing, he ain't going to have any mercy on those guys, that's for sure. And I can't wait to watch that. You got a good guy on the team for sure.
All right, so you second the vote there. I know that a lot of people, because Tomac came on strong late in the year, Alessi had a good year in a 450. A lot of people wanted
but you guys, everyone has to remember when he got on the 450 last year, he did extremely good.
Especially in the sands of Southwick, which he loves the sand. And that was one of the problems here for Barcia this year, is that when he went to Southwick, one of his go-to tracks, he did not have a good day. Consequently, he fell back in the championship points.
Let's talk about this guy here. Jason Anderson. As riders like Barcia move up to the 450 class, Dean Wilson, last year's champ's going to move up as well. You kind of look for who's the next guys on the radar. Now, Anderson had a really rough year last year, his rookie year. Much improved in his 2nd year. Who knows? A year or 2 down the line, a guy like Anderson could be the rider battling for this title. You figure that Baggett's probably going to have one more year in this class to defend. Tomac will be back to battle him next year. The KTM riders, Musquin and Roczen will be there. And guys like Anderson are kind of on the outside looking in. They would like to be part of that championship picture somewhere down the road.
Well, this would be a big boost for Anderson if he could finish off this championship on a high note here. And the one thing was, a year ago, it seemed like that he was putting in the work, and it seems like that this year that he is. The team on a whole has done a lot better with the preparation of bikes. You notice they had a couple of bikes up there off the start in this moto, so the engine packages are better. And overall, I think the chemistry and the attitude of the team is starting to come around into a better friend of mine.
It's a big battle here, because if Baggett can get around Anderson and get to 2nd, that will salvage the overall win for the day. He will go 1-2, and that will edge out Barcia's 3-1. And there goes Baggett to the inside, and Anderson's able to hold him off.
He's working.
Crossing across those ruts, and still cannot get the job done. Anderson's riding the wide motorcycle right now.
Putting in a pretty good effort right now.
Yeah, he is.
Baggett's got to be careful right here. You don't want to push too hard just for this, for this position or the overall, and make a big mistake that could discount the, jack you up in the championship. So
Anderson holding the line. You got Musquin behind them in a KTM, keeping them in sight, just in case maybe these two tangle up or slow each other down. Here goes Baggett on the attack again.
You know what was interesting, and Ricky and I had a chance to speak with Blake Baggett in between motos here, where other riders really suffered from the heat in Moto 1 earlier today. We seen him, and he looked fresh and happy as ever. I mean, he was all smiles as he should have been, but he looked great. His demeanor was, definitely has his fitness there. He's done the hard work that it takes to win.
Yeah, he did. He said, man, I love this heat. The hotter the better. And it's obviously working for him right now, but
Anderson.
Anderson putting up a really good fight. Loving what I'm seeing from him right now. He's on fire.
Oh, a little mistake there in that right-hander. That might give Baggett the opening he needs.
Whoa.
Man, did he come into that corner hot.
He was. Extremely rough going into that corner.
And that should be enough to give Baggett the overall lead for the day. So everything that the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki team would have hoped for looks like it may be on order. Let's send it down to Kelly with an update on the number 12. Kelly?
Well, Blake Baggett is known for coming back from the back of the pack, charging ahead, which has earned him the nickname El Chupacabra. So if you're wondering what a Chupacabra is, apparently it looks a little something like this. This is a sticker his dad gave me. You can see the MXON Motocross of Nations, which Blake Baggett is now a member of. And, I think, Jason, you're responsible for giving him that nickname, so perhaps you can explain it a little better.
Yeah, I don't think Blake's too pumped on that, but that was last year.
It looks just like it.
Yeah, well, it's painted green like the motorcycle. It was in professional broadcasting parlance. Somebody made a bet that I couldn't get Chupacabra in on the broadcast, and I saw this guy coming out of nowhere, putting on an attack, making his passes very quickly, and that's what a Chupacabra does. If you look through the mythology, no one knows exactly what it looks like, but when it attacks, you're powerless to stop it, and that's pretty much the way Baggett has done it. He doesn't do it from the start.
Yeah, well, Ricky and I, we never really did dig that deep into the book, so we didn't really read too much.
It was a bet. I had no choice.
I'm loving it. I'm learning something every day.
And for those folks wondering what the Motocross of Nations is, that's a team race that'll take place in Belgium in a couple of weeks. It's usually held in Europe. It's been held in the United States only a few times. And each nation sends their best 3 riders, and it's a team effort. They take the moto scores of all 3 riders to determine a world team championship.
Yeah, think of it as the Olympics of motocross.
Exactly. Easy. And the team is going to be Baggett on the 250, and then Marshall will pump up to the 450, and of course, Ryan Dungey will run the anchor leg, so to speak, on the 450. Now, Baggett and Dungey are on the team that won last year for the United States, and it's going to be a debut for Barcia, and a lot of people wondering how that will go. A deep sand track that the American riders don't get to race in those types of conditions very often. But Baggett's going to carry a lot of experience under pressure now. He handled it last year at the MXON, and he's handling this task today.
Yeah, he really is, and I'm interested to see if he's going to try to reel in Barcia and put an exclamation point on this title.
He can do it. Last time around, Baggett was a 240. That was way faster than anyone else. The next fastest lap was our leader Barcia at a 244.
I was looking at
4 seconds a lap faster.
I think the track and the
Baggett! Baggett goes down. That is the exact thing that they did not want to see happen. You gotta hope the bike's okay, gotta hope he's okay. Here comes Musquin and Anderson to push him back to 4th.
That's gonna affect the overall for the day. Still in championship points position. Gonna get the heart rate going a little bit for his mom and dad, Tom and Leanne, and everybody over there, and Mitch Payton.
Hope he's okay.
Pro Circuit.
Looks all right. Great battle here now for a second. Musquin trying to get Anderson. Anderson, he's been tough to pass today.
These two cats been battling the whole time.
All right, take us through this, guys.
Checking out the pit board right there by his mechanic, and watch, this is where he made that pass on Anderson. So he comes down in there.
Everything's good. Oh, his front wheel went right over the rut.
Tad bit. Could have been a little rock in there or something, a little too aggressive.
Well, they did fix the corners. A lot of the corners you can see right here. Little bitty rut, not very deep. It just goes over, leans it over too much, and that front end rides over the top. No biggie.
One more look here.
Bike kept running.
But look at how close, for example, watch, he could have clipped these handlebars when he goes down. Obviously could have bent up maybe the front brake lever on the bike or from the other side.
I mean, that's the last thing that Mitch Payton and everybody want to see is he's still battling, because it was only a couple years ago where their guy, Christophe Pourcel, had the championship in hand.
And he crashed it away. Similar scenario. Now Baggett has picked
the easy fall, and the championship hurt his shoulder and was out. So
he's back running now. He's gotten back around Anderson for third. Musquin is now the one who is the potential spoiler for not the title, but the overall today. I don't know if Baggett's going to try to go after Barcia anymore after that. I just want to stay where he is.
A lot of some time.
Yeah, right there, top of your screen, 8 minutes, 38 seconds, plus 2 laps. A lot of people felt that Musquin, that after riding press day and all that, that this would be his style of track. Wasn't really a factor in Moto 1, but here in Moto 2, I mean, he's such a fluid rider. He's got great technique. He's very efficient, it seems like, with his energy and everything on the bike. Sometimes he gets criticized for not being aggressive enough, but when it's hot like this, when you can conserve energy and just float around the track with ease like he does, that's when you have a chance to excel.
Yep, conserve a lot of energy and let the bike do most of the work for you. You become efficient.
Hey, that's the way I looked at it. The more efficient I could be, then I wouldn't have to train them.
Got bad news for Musquin, though. El Chupacabra has got him in sight, and it looks like Baggett's got his rhythm back, and it might not be a worse guy to have behind you late in a race.
No.
And you guys talk about every week, you know, the start is a key, the start is a key, the start is a key. Baggett apparently doesn't listen to that.
No.
His starts have been pretty atrocious the last 2 years, and he's won a lot of races anyway.
Yeah, and you see when his mechanics said, you're okay, have fun. And the mechanics, they put that signboard out every lap. And Ricky, I mean, lap times was always important, you know, because there's always a goal in mind. And then those words of encouragement, especially at this time, is to help you keep your head on straight, to help keep positive thoughts going and not let the gremlins sneak in and start to affect your thinking.
He's got Musquin in his sights now. Barcia's lead has been 11 seconds, so even if he gets to second, I don't think he can win the Moto. Maybe, but this would be enough to get the overall. Again, he was already in this position before.
Yeah, he's all over him.
What a
go
pace.
wide here. Oh, square it up.
There he goes to the inside, and he's got Musquin covered.
Too easy.
And that should be enough to get the overall. What a pace he's running. He was in 11:30 on, came all the way back to second, crashed, come back to second again.
I still think he's going to try to mount a charge here.
Okay.
I think
He's looking ahead.
He did.
He looked over his shoulder.
Yeah, that looks, he's like, okay, what do I got to do? Now, I think Barcia sees him catching him. He's going to give it a little bit of extra grit here, try to get this Moto win, no doubt. It's going to be tough for Baggett to make up this lost ground from that little tip over.
13 seconds.
Yeah, that's a lot of ground to make up, but you see there's still plenty of time. Meanwhile, Tomac has climbed all the way back into the points. He was last. He's now 19th. Meanwhile, Kelly has the team manager for this Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki unit, Mitch Payton. Kelly?
And Mitch, as you sit here, watch the monitor. Blake had a bit of a bobble there, but he's climbed his way back to second. What do you think as he makes this championship run?
No, I think he wanted to go for the win. You know, like it looked like he was catching up pretty good, but you know he fell over. So for right now, I'm just assuming he brings it home. But I think he's riding really good, so we'll see.
What's this day like? What has this day been like for you as a team and Blake individually?
It was a little hectic this morning because it's a local national and we have so many friends and stuff here. So it's been really fun, though. There's been a lot of people under the tent, and it's been hectic all day.
Thank you, Mitch.
And it's been 9 years since that team has gone without winning a title. They're going to pull one out here at Baggett. That's impressive. We're almost looking at 10 straight years of this team delivering titles.
You know, a lot of people say he knows how to pick them, but he runs a extremely good race team. And those bikes are really good. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He works as hard as the racers do, and the guy deserves everything he has and all the success that he's had.
And there's Baggett trying to add his name to the legacy of Pro Circuit Kawasaki and deliver another national championship. Well, Jeff, you know the motocross dream well. You moved out to California to make it happen. That's the path that a lot of people have taken.
Yeah, no doubt. I had the opportunity to ride Saddleback Park, to ride Carlsbad, and for the young riders now and the Eli Tomacs of the world, this is their new home. And the owners of this track and everyone that's been involved in this event put in such a tremendous effort to give us this, this racetrack and this event. So pretty good. Going to be here for a lot of years.
Cool little bench race session on the right side. John Tomac, probably the greatest of all time in American mountain biking. That's Eli Tomac's dad, having a chat with Chad Reed right now. Eli, by the way, has climbed up to the number 18 spot after an early crash.
Yeah, he's coming back, and he's got to get some places because he wants to secure that, second place in the championship.
Oh, man.
Doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's 16 points away from Barcia. That's just for second. But one thing that everybody's watching, all the people that are in the know, and he could have easily just pulled off there in that first lap when he went down, said, I'm out of the championship. Other riders would have, but that's not who he is.
No.
This isn't who Barcia is either. They both are very strong-willed, both very determined. Looks like they're both going to come up a little bit short this year for this championship, but they put on one heck of a fight, and it's been an awesome 12 races that we've got to watch and call it on TV, I can tell you that.
Well, Jeff, we looked at the stats. I know going into the year, the Geico Honda team said if you can just average a third, if you can average a podium in the Moto, you'll probably end up being champion. That's usually what the champion averages. This year, all three riders, Barcia, Tomac, and Baggett, are all averaging finishes in the twos. They're all averaging a podium or better for the year. That is incredible consistency from three riders. I don't know if we've ever seen three riders that consistent all year long.
Yeah, Baggett had a 2.5 coming in, and Barcia and Tomac a 2.9. And it was it was really interesting how close the three of them were in different categories. Other than laps led, because Barcia really dominated there. And certainly the second moto here is going to help out. So we've got 3 laps left to go in this race.
Yeah, this is probably going to be enough for Barcia to get second in points back from his teammate Tomac. Either way, though, they really only were focused on one thing, and that was getting the title. Second and third, I don't think they're going to argue too much over that. Here is Baggett, 10 seconds in back of Barcia. He's going 2 seconds a lap quicker. But as you can see at the top of the screen, only 3 laps to go. I don't think there's enough time to catch him. And I also don't know if it really matters because he's going to have the overall win and the title, even if he stays where he is.
Yeah, but Ricky, the thing that he's got to do, he can't start looking around and start thinking about the prize at the end. He's got to keep his head on straight. He's got to keep focused. And when you cross that checkered flag, then let the emotion come out. Then think about what you've accomplished.
Well, because things can happen so fast, as we already seen it already. He had a tip over in the corner. These obstacles, these corners, these braking bumps, these ruts, they come up so fast. You have to concentrate and keep looking forward.
Musquin here could end up third overall today. Solid bounce back here in Moto number 2. And that third, as you see the event points, that's what determines the overall. Should be another podium for the Red Bull KTM rider, who has really improved throughout the year. Started the year off with a broken hand, and it's about halfway through the year where he's starting to run the pace of the leaders, and then he was a factor from there on out. Yeah,
and we mentioned Ken Roczen being last year's motocross world champion. The 2 previous world championships on the 250 bike were his teammate there, Marvin Musquin, out of France.
Will Hahn in the number 4 position, and then Roczen will come through next in 5th. Geico Honda and the shotgun effort. They had 4 or 5 at times different riders running up front in these motos. Meanwhile, Pro Circuit was basically a one-man army. Ivan Tedesco went out early with injury. Everyone else on the team was out injured basically before the season began. And their one-rider team looks like they'll deliver the title. Here's Roczen. Probably not the day he would have wanted today. At least would have wanted to contend for a podium.
Yeah, certainly here at a track like this, but it's hot. And Roczen, coming from Europe, they don't race in temperatures usually above about 85 degrees. Okay, and we're almost at 100 here today.
Musquin's raced over there, and he's doing pretty good today in the heat.
Well, they got to get acclimated to it, there's no doubt.
Anderson goes by, and then here comes Malcolm Stewart. Pretty consistent the last couple of races. Had a solid 6th place in a moto last weekend out at Still City, and 7th here on the J-Star JDR KTM. And again, the riders like Stewart and Anderson hoping to maybe learn something out here that could put them up front as some of these other 250 riders begin to graduate through. Here's Blake Wharton, another one of the Rockstar Suzuki men.
A couple of yellow flags here. Let's see if we can see where there's a rider down. And the red cross flag is out here over this blind downhill jump.
And that is a Honda rider. Trying to figure out the number. Almost saw that for a second. That's a 774 who is down in that section. And the cross flag means you're not allowed to jump through there. That's what the cross flag means. That's Preston Tilford on the 5150 Energy machine. And he's a little bit shaken but not stirred, I'd say. Here comes Baggett, about a lap and a half away from a title. And Jeff, you talked about a lot this year. He was the one rider of this group that had not won a title at the professional level. So this is a big obstacle to overcome.
Well, and last season, I talked about it already. He was fast in the second half of the season. The wheels came off. And so every moto, every race that would click by, he would have to prove himself. This is his mom, Leanne. How do you think she's feeling right about now?
I think she's still nervous.
I think so.
You're like, let's just drop the rag already, man.
Yeah, but
throw the checkers.
But Blake he is supported by a very good group. His father Tom, mom Leanne, little sister Bailey. We see her all over the place. Keely, his girlfriend, we see her in the podium shots every time that he wins. This is a tight group. Okay, they travel every race, and they support him with everything. So it's a big win. I know when I won my first professional championship, which was in this same class, it was a big feeling of we did it, not just me, but our family has won a professional motocross championship.
Yeah.
You feel that way, Rick?
Yeah, because you know, your parents and the people who support you, whoever it might be, they sacrifice so much. And you know, you have this dream and you have this goal, you have this vision throughout your whole career, and to finally do it at the big time like this, you know, all those feelings and sacrifices you make come back to you.
Yeah, and
you know, and you go down memory lane. All that, he's probably thinking about that, you know, and it's running through his head. All the sacrifices his parents have made through his career.
One to go here for Barcia, but you know, going back to, I mean, the little sister Bailey supporting him 100%. I'm sure she was at a lot of motocross tracks when he was growing up.
Yeah.
You know, when she could have been someplace else.
Well,
but
yeah,
the family focus.
She's embracing it.
Yeah, exactly.
When she could have went the other way and made it hard, but you know, she obviously liked it, and believed in him, and wanted to support it, and it's about to pay off about 2.5 minutes from now.
And here's Barcia, similar scenario for him. Obviously, his family gave him all the support to get him to this level, and Tomac as well. I think that's what we're really seeing this year. You're seeing these next generation riders come through, and they all have the program dialed in. They all have the trainer. They all have the good bike. They all have the family support.
Yeah, Don and Lorraine Barcia, see him at all the races. Of course, Lorraine's always, you know, over there at the Geico rig with a smile for you, but she's going to be happy with this moto, but it's been a tough season full of a lot of ups and downs. And even for Baggett, there's been some races where he left, not really sure that he was going to be able to sense this deal. But he came here today with his head on straight and definitely focused, ready to get the job done. And he's still closing in right now. He's only 7 seconds behind Barcia here on this last lap.
And what's interesting, Baggett did win the very first moto of the year. Remember our top 5 moments we showed you at the beginning of this thing? He's basically stole the first moto win. He passed Barcia and Roxon on the last lap. Since then, he has not let go of the points lead. It's been very close.
I tell you what, he's right there in the back of your screen. He can't be no more than about 4 or 5 seconds behind Barcia right now. Barcia right there, you hear him over revving the bike, RC. This is one lap that he definitely does not want to give up the lead.
No, he's going to get the win for sure. Ain't nothing going to happen here. He's going to bring it home. He's got Baggett in check right now. He's not going to let him get too close. No way.
So Barcia will end his 250 career on a pretty high note, winning the moto. He won't win the title of the overall. Baggett will be back next year to try to defend. Tomac will be back as well. Roxon, Musquin, some of these other riders. We look forward to another great championship fight, but that's next year. What everyone's focused on, Jeff, you like to say, stay in the moment.
I'm in the moment right now. Baggett is still on the gas, and he is a few turns away from his first professional championship. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Chupacabra doesn't know any other way. He's going to keep charging all the way down to the end. Look at how close the gap has become. And here comes Barcia. Looks like he's going to have enough. Justin Barcia is going to win the moto here, but the championship goes to Blake Baggett, the first ever of his professional motocross career, and he joins a long legacy of top riders to win for the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Great sportsmanship between those two. We'll be right back.
And here to present that #1 plate from the AMA, is Kevin Crowther.
Thank you very much. Blake, great job. Congratulations to you and your team and your family and all the hard work you put in this year. I think you answered all the questions out there about what you can do with the championship. Congratulations. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of MX Sports and AMA Pro Racing to present you with the 2012 Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship #1 plate for the 250 class. Congratulations.
Thanks, Kevin.
Great job.
Blake, you are the 2012 champion for the 250 class. How does that sound?
Yeah, too good to be true, really. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of good moments and tough moments, but, you know, the team was behind me 100%. Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Portland Limited, Vans, Volcom, Traxxas, Specialized Bikes, Tram Components, SoCal Super Trucks, Volcom, just, you know, Vans, everybody that was behind me and stuck behind me all year, and finally paid off. So excited, and now it's time to party, I guess.
Congratulations. Well, Justin Barcia closes out his 250 career with the overall win today and second in the championship points. How will you reflect on this season?
Oh, I think I reflect on this season just as a hard-fought season. Didn't get a championship, a little bummed on that, but moving up to the 450 on factory Honda. So happy with my Geico Honda team. They did such a great job this year. I'm proud of everyone, my mom and dad, all my family and friends. It was a long haul, definitely, but I'm pumped and wish I could have done a championship, but we're going to move on to 450 and keep fighting for one.
All right, congratulations. Thank you. And Marvin Musquin, third overall today. Marvin, you really seem to have turned things on here in the second part of this season. What did you learn here in 2012?
A lot, because it's actually my first year in the US, especially Supercross. I raced a couple outdoors last year, but full season this year. So I mean, yeah, I'm happy because I learned a lot. We made a lot of improvement on the bike and on the team, and everybody was working hard. And I got an overall win. Unadilla was awesome, and then here a podium overall and third. It's good. I mean, it feels good to be here in California, and the fans was crazy today. And I want to thank all of them, and especially the team, Red Bull KTM team, and all my sponsors.
Great. Excuse me. We're going to leave it there. Great effort out there, Marvin. Thank you.
The all-new Geomax MX34 is the latest result of Dunlop's ongoing development with the help of top motocross pros. The all-new Geomax MX34 is the new industry standard for soft to intermediate terrain. Experience the advantage